So we're joined by Colorado's best attorney, Phil Harding, and we're here to talk about, Phil, mistakes that hospitals, doctors' offices, and billing departments make all the time when you're looking at cases.
Yeah, we're actually going to go over two mistakes that hospitals, doctors, maybe even your own attorney is doing. That's probably killing your case.
So I was reading through this before, and it totally makes sense to me. It's about where they send the data, the records, the bills, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, look, doctors' offices, hospitals, and so forth, they're not attorneys. And here's the biggest, let's say you're in a car accident, right? You go to the emergency room. Immediately, they ask you about billing, and you're like, well, I've got Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they say, oh, it's a car accident, tell me about the other side's insurance, and maybe it's whoever. They start sending the medical records and billings to the other side to try to get paid from it, and you know what? There are a lot of things wrong with that.
There are, and from our segments doing this, I know that can't happen, but when you send that to the other side, they're not supposed to see that, right?
They're not, because number one, it violates HIPAA laws, right? Yeah. They're only supposed to send to your insurance, not the other side's. But the other side's really deceptive too. The insurance company may call you up and may say, hey, we're going to be paying for your medical bills. That's kind of a lie. They're going to pay.
You could lose money.
Yeah, they write one check and only one check at the very end, not as they come in. And here's the reason why, is because if you have health insurance, Medicaid or Medicare, you have seen something called an EOB, stands for an explanation of benefits. And let's look at this.
Yeah.
Typical EOB. And maybe you went into the emergency room or, had a surgery, and this comes from your health insurance. And it says, hey, the hospital billed $29,000, but because we have a discounted rate of $20,000, the amount covered by the plan is $8,500. Now, if this went to the other side's going to call you up and say, hey, I see this bill, let's settle the entire case, and we're going to pay you $8,500. Wrong. The other side has to pay the full $29,000, and here's the reason why. You've paid for health insurance premiums, right? Not the dude that ran into you. So collateral source doctrine, right?
Because they don't get to see this till the end. That's the whole point.
And you cover up. You cover up all this stuff. Now, if the hospital's already sending this billing, man, all of a sudden, it's like they let the cat out of the bag. It's $8,500, and that's where they're going to start negotiating. It's horrible.
So the person, if you don't have a lawyer, you can be confused by the whole process.
Yeah, sure.
Right, but the other people should know this. But is there some sort of sneakiness going on here?
Well, there's kind of, because if you go in, and let's stay with this, you go through health insurance, right? The hospital knows that there's going to be a reduction. But if they send it to the other side, they're hoping to get the full $29,000. There's a statute that took place about 3 years ago that made it illegal for hospitals and other people to send this to the other side and then file a lien if they don't get paid.
A lien,
right?
Yes,
right?
On your property or something.
Yeah, they file it with Secretary of State because they want to collect this from bad guys insurance who's going to pay the full $29,000. I mean, look at it. You're the hospital. Would you rather get $29,000 or $8,500?
Big difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
The way this plays out. So what about health insurance? What do they pay or not pay?
Yeah, so back on that example, right? There was $29,000. Yeah. You will get $29,000 from the other side when you settle the case. You may have to pay back this $8,500 to your health insurance, and that's called subrogation. But now there's a law in Colorado. It's called Colorado's Make Whole Law, which specifically says if the other side, and remember, 1 out of 6 people driving has no insurance at all. After that, state minimums are $25,000. So let's say in this scenario, the other side only has $25,000. They paid you the full policy limits, right? Because this bill alone is almost $30,000. If they give you the full policy limits, the statute says it's presumed you are not made whole and you don't have to pay back health insurance.
This is all very interesting stuff, but if you're not in on the know and you don't have a lawyer, this could easily slip by you. I mean, they may send stuff out to everybody, and that's going to hurt your case.
Talk to an attorney. I mean, it's complicated stuff. Collateral source doctrine, make whole law, subrogation, all of that.
That's all stuff that you're going to know, Phil. Thanks for coming in here today. Here's a little more information. To reach Phil Harding and Associates directly, you can call them at 303-762-9500. You can also get a free consultation anytime, and you can find Phil online at hlaw.com.